Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a Mississippi pot roast, some shrimp Alfredo, bourbon candied yams, and some collard greens. Now this may sound like an interesting combination, but trust me, when that pot roast gravy hits that Alfredo, you kind of get a little surf and turf going on and kind of like a beef stroganoff, and it's really good. Guys, you're going to love it. So for my pot roast, I'm using a 2-pound chuck roast, some celery, garlic, carrots, and onion. I'm using these Greek pepperchoni peppers, as well as some ranch seasoning and some au jus gravy. 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, some herbs, and some spices. Now, your typical Mississippi pot roast doesn't have all these little herbs and stuff in it, but y'all cooking in Kamira's Kitchen today. Y'all know I'm going to do what I'm going to do, all right? So I'm going to put some olive oil on my chuck roast, and I have cut it in half. I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter to my Instant Pot, as well as a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to put this on saute mode on high. I'm going to brown this. Now, browning your meat is so that you can get depth of flavor. It does make your food taste better, so I'm going to brown this for about 4 minutes on each side. If you've been enjoying my soul food meals or just my full dinners, let me know in the comment section and also leave me a request. I love to make some of the recipes that you guys suggest, and also go ahead and give me the thumbs up. It helps promote my videos to other people that want to watch this content. Now you see that nice browning on there. Okay, honey, that is what you are looking for. That's going to give you all the flavor. All right, now I'm going to go in. I'm going to add all my vegetables, and honey, I ain't even chop up that garlic. Okay, I said I'm going to let the pressure cooker do the work today. Okay. And you can just cut your vegetables pretty big because it's all going to just come down when you cook it. I'm then going to go in with my thyme, my garlic powder, and my pepper, and I'm going to saute this for about 30 seconds. And I'm going to put in 1/4 cup of the liquid from those Greek pepperchoni peppers. That has a little vinegar taste to it, and it's going to add a nice balance to your roast with the other flavors. I'm going to put back the roast in with its juices, and then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this ranch seasoning, as well as the packet of gravy. Now, this is a low sodium ranch, so if you have one that's really salty, you just want to really watch it because the gravy has salt as well as the peppers, and you don't want it to get overly salty at all. I'm going to add in about 7 peppers, a cup of water, and also a sprig of rosemary. You don't need a lot of water in the Instant Pot because all of the moisture gets contained, and the juices from the beef are going to also release their own broth. Put the carrots right on top and don't add them into the liquid because you don't want them to get too mushy. For a 2-pound roast, I am going to pressure cook this for 1 hour and then natural pressure release about 15 minutes. You can cook a 3-pound roast for the same cook time. I would just natural pressure release it for about 30 minutes. And you can do a 4-pound roast. You can pressure cook that for about 1 hour and 20 minutes and natural pressure release about 20 minutes as well. Now you can see that this beef is super tender, and I'm going to turn it on saute mode. I'm going to take out my carrots, and I'm just going to add a teaspoon of beef bouillon because I added that water. It just needed a little bit more saltiness, and y'all, this was so good. I just picked out those little stems, and baby, let me know if you're going to try this in the comments. Now, I know it seems weird to put like an Alfredo with a roast beef, but I was really envisioning this unique sort of surf and turf going on. You know how sometimes you have like a mac and cheese with roast beef, but I wanted something a little bit different. So I am going to cook my spaghetti noodles according to the package instructions with some chicken bouillon and some salt. And I'm then going to begin my Alfredo with 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Then I'm going to put in some shrimp. Now, I'm only adding about 8 ounces of shrimp. If I were doing this as a main course, I would add about 12 to 16 ounces. But, you know, we already got enough meat going on in this meal, okay? We don't need to do all of that, okay? I'm going to season right in the pan with some low sodium Creole seasoning as well as some seafood magic. And then we just going to toss this around for 2 minutes. Look, you better watch your shrimp, baby, because we don't want nothing to get rubbery around here. Okay, no, nobody want no rubber band shrimp. Okay, so once this is done, you go ahead and take it out, but definitely leave those pan juices because we're going to need that to start sauteing our onions. I'm using about half of a large onion. And I'm going to saute this for about 3 to 4 minutes. Then I'm going to put in about 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to saute that for about 30 seconds. You want to do this quick. Okay, we ain't trying to burn that garlic. Since I'm using a little bit of milk today, I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of flour, and then I'm going to add a cup of whole milk. Now, this is not a low-fat milk situation, okay, because you got to add cream. I'm putting in about 1/4 to 1/2 of a cup of cream. Don't come here with no skim milk and ask me if you're making Alfredo. Look, if you're going to do it, you just got to do it all the way, okay? So the flour is going to help everything thicken up. And then I'm going to put in some, just season it to taste. I'm going to add some more of that Creole seasoning, a little more of that seafood magic, a pinch of salt. And I'm not going too heavy on the cheese, just about 2 ounces of cheese, because I don't want the cheesy flavor to be overwhelming mixed with the beef gravy. You know, just a little something there. All right. I'm going to add a teaspoon of the chicken bouillon powder. And basically, you guys know you got to season to your own taste. I don't want nobody up in my comments telling me, Camille, you putting too much seasoning here. You're going to get hypertension from this salt. Don't come for me, okay? You're going to get blocked, okay? Mess with me, all right? So you just need to do it to your own taste, all right? This is your kitchen, and I ain't telling you what to do, all right? So I just did, you know, a little extra garlic powder, a little some here and there until it got to where I wanted it. And I wanted to add a little kick to mine. So I decided to put in about 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. I'm going to mix in my noodles and make sure everything is well coated. Now, when I was doing this recipe, I started off making the roast first, and then I started my collard greens and then my yams, and I actually made my Alfredo last. Because the Alfredo is going to come together so quickly, you definitely don't want to do this first. Now, y'all, this is good on its own, but as a side dish, it can smack. Let me know if you're going to try this in this meal idea. Now, y'all have seen me do greens many times, and that's just because I think there should always be a green vegetable with every meal, and I'm just doing them on the stovetop today. I'm putting in some butter, some turkey tails, some ham hocks, as well as some garlic, and I'm just going to saute that for a few minutes. I'm going to add in my spices, some Creole seasoning, chicken bouillon, pepper, all of that good stuff, and you'll see it in the description box. I'll add in my greens as well as some water, a little bit of sugar, and some apple cider vinegar to balance out the flavors. And I allowed this to cook for about 1 hour and 30 minutes on a medium-low heat, just, you know, at a side eye. Y'all, let me know what your favorite non-starchy vegetable side is. I tend to do greens or green beans or like zucchini or broccoli, but what else other side dishes do you guys eat? I like collard greens because they really are so nutritious, and y'all know we got to keep them insides, we got to keep it a highway, not a parking lot, Gabe, you know what I'm trying to say, okay? We ain't trying to be, blocked up. Now I'm going to go in with some boiling water. That's one trick to go ahead and get your greens wilting quickly so they'll fit in the pot. And also, it's not going to change the temperature on the pan. Now, after about 1 hour and 30 minutes, the greens are nice and tender and your meat's falling apart. I just season it a little bit more with a little more Creole seasoning, and you got some good and delicious, easy, and healthy greens, y'all. Okay. Next up is some Bourbon Candied Yams. I'm adding in 1/2 of a stick of butter and about 1/2 of a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to just let this caramelize for about 2 to 3 minutes until the sugar melts. And then I'm going to put in a tablespoon of maple syrup and about 2 tablespoons of bourbon. Now, if you don't do bourbon, you can leave it out. Okay, I know some of y'all saints, y'all don't be touching, the alcohol, but okay, if you do it, I'm telling you right now, it's very good. And all the alcohol is really going to burn off in this long cook time. I'm going to put in some cinnamon as well as some ginger and some nutmeg, a little bit of salt, and just a touch of a little lemon extract that really complements your sweet potatoes. And I'm going to let this all simmer together for just about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to put in about 2.5 to 3 pounds of sweet potatoes, and I'm going to mix this together. Now, I don't like my yams to be overly sweet, which is why you don't see me putting in tons of sugar. Plus, your yams can already be a little bit sweet, so you don't want to overdo it. I'm going to let this cook on medium-low for about 35 minutes until it is ready. The yams produce their own water, so I didn't add any additional. And y'all, dinner is served. Baby, what you eating first? You guys know that I love you and Jesus loves you. God bless everyone who watches this channel, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.